and thank you for joining us on this random Thursday that I've got time to stream, so here I am. Thank you for joining us live at Angry Hippie Vikings. Remember, we've got our socials now. I'm just gonna flash them real quick. And we're gonna try to keep this going. So today, with randomness, I'm just gonna ask Grok some stupid questions. So this is just going to be me being a stupid geek and asking it stupid questions. Follow us live at Angry Hippie Vikings, or you can follow us on YouTube to watch the vids or watch us live. Hey, there's a mom in the chat. Everything sound good? Music and voice on point? You can even hear me? All right. All right, we're going to real quick. That's cool. Skip that. I don't like the sound of that one. Shrink the window, please. Why? No words, instrumentals only. We don't need words in my channel. That's for me to do. I need to learn how to speak more. And chat, if you're joining us, feel free to ask me stupid questions and I'll see what Grok has to say. Now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of anything. Thank you, brain. Dumb brain. I didn't think this stream through before I went through with it, did I? Nope. Well, let's go with our similar line of questions from last night and see if anyone can beat Ben 10. Because no, so far, I've asked it everything from Goku to stupid Kamen Riders, and all of them are just Ben's OP. Where are my late 2000s kids at? Oh, that's not what I wanted to ask. I clicked the mistype. There we go. If involves analyzing their abilities, teamwork, and resources. And I love how it breaks down each individual power and whatnot. No words in my songs. Ben wields the Omnitrix, allowing him to transform into various alien forms, each with unique powers. The Omnitrix has a vast array of aliens, with over 70 forms by the end of the original series and more in later iterations. Ben can adapt to almost any situation by switching aliens. We know that. That's only if he has master control. Aliens like Alien X are god tier, capable of rewriting reality to survive the universal destruction. As it kind of stood there and resisted all of erasing. How are we doing today, chat? I see you there. It's been a while since a random stream that isn't Fortnite. Yeah, but he's kind of arrogant sometimes, depending on which series you go with. Yeah, the time limit for the Omnitrix has a time limit for transformations, forcing Ben to revert for his human form temporarily. As a human, Ben is fragile. Can be targeted before his transforming. Depending on the timeline, his decision making can be impulsive. I just said that. The original 6 Rangers are martial artists with enhanced strength, agility, and durability when mortal. They wield power weapons. It just says Power Sword and Dragon Dagger. It doesn't even name them all, but it named all the Rangers. The Zords and Megazord provide massive destructive capability, capable of leveling city-sized threats, but not planet-sized threats. Regular defeat monsters in our face powerful foes like Rita Repulsa's minions, which aren't really powerful. Think about it. Their abilities are tied to morphing. Without their morphs, they're skilled but normal humans. Well, they're a little above normal because of their martial arts, but that's just martial arts. Their weapons and swords were powerful, have defined limits compared to Ben's unpredictable alien roster. Individual Rangers are less effective without the team, correct? Pick them off one by one. And they literally go through it. Ben's versatility gives him the edge. For example, Accelerate could outmaneuver a Ranger's attacks, or Diamond Head could tank hits while countering. Even against Tommy, Ben's aliens forms like Upgrade. I would like to see Upgrade hack the Dragon. That would be the epicest thing ever. And Ghost Freak's intangibility is more of just a nuisance if Ghost Freak doesn't break out of the Omnitrix again. The Ranger's martial arts and weapons are formidable, but Ben's adaptability would secure a win. It really boils down to whether they're going to give him Alien X or not, because anything can be Alien X. We're doing as well as we can be. How are you doing? The Rangers' teamwork and combined arsenal pose a serious threat. However, Ben could counter with aliens like Waybeg or feedback if Ben uses Alien X, the fight ends instantly due to its reality warping power. The Rangers could exploit Ben's time limit by stalling or targeting him in human form, but Ben's quick transformations and combat experience make it difficult. Again, it depends on which version of Ben they go with. If they go with the whole team versus the end of Ben, give him Alien X, it's instant. The Rangers' have prior knowledge, they might shoot. Wow, I didn't really think this stream through. I have to read a lot, and I have dyslexia, autism. It's all one big pack. They might strategize to overwhelm Ben before he transforms or summon their Zords early. However, Ben's Omnitrix has a failsafe to protect him from the attack. And his aliens like Brainstorm or Clockwork could outsmart or manipulate time against the Rangers. Yeah, I don't see him using Clockwork too much. So that would be interesting in the fight. Ben could also use Upgrade to take control of the Zords or hack their tech, neutralizing the Rangers' heavy hitter. Again, even if it took over the Megazord, that would be bitchin' to see. And I can't generate the Megazord specifically because it doesn't do proper people. So it would just do something similar. But I might do that later. The Alien X factor. If Ben accesses Alien X, the Rangers have no counter. Alien X's power is on a cosmic scale far beyond the Megazords or anything of previous monsters. The Ranger's strength lies in teamwork, but Ben's Omnitrix essentially makes him a one-man army, with counters for nearly any situation. In a strict fight with no restrictions, Ben's versatility trumps the Rangers if the fight is structured, i.e. no Alien X, the Rangers' teamwork and Zords could give them a fighting chance. And of course it just says Ben wins, because Alien X. But even without Alien X, I would say, yeah, way big. Ben 10 wins in most scenarios due to the Omnitrix's unmatched versatility and sheer power of its high-tier aliens. Power Rangers are formidable with their teamwork, martial prowess, and Megazord, but they lack the raw power or adaptability to consistently counter Ben's alien arsenal. The Rangers might pull off a win if they exploit Ben's human form or time limits, but Ben's resourcefulness and the Omnitrix's fail-safes make this unlikely. Yeah, hopefully we can get that all set up. That's all up to just cleaning things up, really. I'm sorry, it kind of just generic. I haven't put anything specific in a while. If you want anything specific made, I do have credits left for the magical Suno AI we're listening to. Today is powered by AI. Please be careful with it. It is a beautiful tool. Who do we put up next? Who's a low power guy I know? The chin? Question mark? Ah, the Crimson Chin. Do we go with your earlier and see if Crimson Chin could beat Gigi Allen? You think it would be too much against TOS? I could see that. It would be an interesting fight, though. Oh, I need to turn my brain on more. Or not call myself out on the spot so much. Which Crimson Ghost? You mean the one from Misfits? Because I have to give it its... I think it'll get the Crimson Chin, But if I put in Crimson Ghost, I think it might pull up something else. Ah. Let's see what it pulls up then. 15 different web pages it searched. Oh, it got it for you, Mom. To determine who would win in a fight between the Crimson Chin from Fairly Odd Parents and the Crimson Ghost, character from the 1946 film series. Why does that word hurt my brain? The Crimson Ghost. We need to analyze their abilities, feats, and context. Since the Crimson Ghost doesn't appear in the provided search results, I'll rely on general knowledge about the character and use the detailed information from the search results for the Crimson Chin. So is it going to make things up? Crimson Chin, a comic book hero within Fairly Odd Parents universe, occasionally brought to the real world by Timmy Turner's wishes. He protects the city of Cincinnati. Can lift and super strength, can lift and throw loaded buses, comparable to villains like the Bronze Kneecap and Iron Lung. It's going to reference them all, that's great. Who perform similar feats. Scales to Mighty Mom and Dino Dad, who pushed back a meteor weighing in at a medium range. Massively faster than light, I don't remember that. Who flew to the sun and back in seconds and circled the Earth rapidly. Dodge Negachin's Negavision, which Mighty Mom and Dino Dad couldn't. Implied to never tire, can fight crime all day and night without exhaustion, bullets bounce off of him, and he's taken hits from powerful villains like the Negachin. Can fly at superhuman speeds. Includes X-ray vision, super hearing, and super sight. That is stupid. Heat vision effective at 10 meters. Uses his oversized chin as a weapon. As a comic book character, his stories are influenced by a writer, leading to convenient outcomes where good triumphs. He's aware of his fictional nature. He cried about it a lot. Can materialize objects. resists radiation and sound-based attacks, and has rapid healing. Multi-continent level, based on defeating villains like Bronsneak and Iron and Negation, who scaled to Mighty Mom and Dino Dad. Above average intelligence with over 934 comic issues of experience and clever fighting tactics. Chin Tonight. I forgot how stupid Fairly Odd Parents can get. Vulnerable to Chin Tonight, which nullifies his power and magic from Cosmo and Wanda. Regularly fights metal / body part villains and has teamed up with Timmy as Clef to defeat powerful foes. The Crimson Ghost, the main antagonist in the 1946 Republic Pictures The Crimson Ghost, a mass criminal mastermind seeking to steal I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that right now, so I'm not going to. A device capable of disrupting electrical systems. He operates in a grounded Pulp Fiction setting. A brilliant scientist and strategist. Wow, I should have thought this through. Me. I'm starting to mix up my words and it's not good. I apologize, chat. I'm a little bit special. I've got Oh, I didn't even see that Grok replied to my tweet out. Now I feel better about doing what I'm doing, but I'm still getting tongue-tied. Reading is not my strong suit, folks. Excuse me. Relies on advanced for the 1940s technology. Cyclotron? Let's try that. Which can... I think I'd screw up the blanket more than I'd screw up reading this, and I'm sorry about that. Which can just disable vehicles and electronics, and a death collar device which kills via electric shock. Engages in hand-to-hand combat and gunfights, typical of serial villains. He's resourceful but lacks superhuman physical abilities. Commands a group of henchmen to carry out his plans. Human-level physiology. which no superhuman strength or durability. His technology can disrupt machinery, but isn't designed for direct combat against superhuman opponents. Standard human durability, vulnerable to physical attacks, bullets, and other conventional means of harm. Yeah, he's just human. Normal human speed. Weakness. Lacks superhuman traits, making him vulnerable to physical overpowering. I don't see this going well. Assuming a neutral environment with no prep time unless specified. Crimson Chin's multi-continent level attack, potency, and superhuman strength vastly outlast the Crimson Ghost's human level capabilities. A single punch or chin strike from the chin could incapacitate or kill the ghost. The chin's invulnerability and rapid healing make him immune to the ghost's physical attacks. Bullets bounce off of him, and he's tanked hits from far stronger foes. Chin's faster than light. Speed means he can blitz the ghost before the latter can react. The ghost's human reflexes can't counter this. Excuse me. The Crimson Ghost Cyclotroid could theoretically disrupt electrical systems. Thank you again, brain. But there's no evidence it could affect a superhuman like the Crimson Chin, whose powers are biologically derived from a radioactive celebrity bite. Again, Fairly Odd Parents was weird, rather than mechanical. The death collar requires close proximity to apply, which is nearly impossible given the Chin's speed and flight. Even if applied, the Chin's invulnerability and resistance to energy-based attacks suggests he could withstand or quickly recover from it. The ghost's other gadgets are ineffective against the Chin's durability, which shrugs off far greater forces. The Crimson Ghost is a cunning manipulator, but his schemes rely on outsmarting human opponents like Duncan Richards, not superhuman comic book heroes. The Chin's above average intelligence and 934 plus issues of experience give him the edge in adapting to the ghost tactics. The Chin's fourth wall awareness and plot manipulation could narratively ensure the victory, as his stories are written in favor of the hero. However, even without this, his raw power is overwhelming. And I realize I'm skipping and adding words. I do apologize about that. And I'm not going to apologize about that at the same time. You're welcome to debate it in the chat. Come on. Even if you have angry chats at me, come at me and talk to me. I don't bite. The Crimson Chin wins with overwhelming ease. His superhuman strength, speed, and durability with an array of powers completely outmatch the Crimson Ghost's human-level abilities and 1940s technology. The Ghost's Cyclotroid and gadgets lack the potency to affect a multi-continent level superhero, and his strategic mind can't compare for the massive power gap. Compensate. Enunciate. The Chin could end the fight in seconds with a single blow, heat vision, or by simply flying the ghost into submission. Even if the ghost tries to flee or use deception, the Chin's enhanced senses and speed will quickly locate and neutralize him. 99.9%. Like, I'd agree with that. Now, Let's stick with Mighty Morphin just because it's easy. That's an interesting one, and let's see if it can pick that up. To determine who would win in a hypothetical fight between the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, we need to analyze their effective abilities, strength, weaknesses, and combat dynamics based on their portrayal in the original series. Since this is a fictional crossover, we'll consider their standard abilities, capabilities, teamwork, and resources as depicted in their shows. So the original Mighty Morphin team, and they're adding Tommy, so they do get all 6. Yep. 5 to 6 teenagers chosen by Zordon to become Power Rangers, granted superhuman abilities via the Morphin Grid. Enhanced strength, speed, and agility, and durability. Ranger has a unique weapon and martial arts skills. The individual Dinozords that combine into a Megazord, a massive robot with powerful melee and energy-based attacks. Tommy's Dragon Zord adds versatility, and later seasons introduce the Thunder Megazord and Tiger Zord. Highly coordinated with Jason or Tommy as strong leaders, they excel in adapting to new threats and combining their skills. Reliant on morphers for power, unmorphed, they're skilled but vulnerable. Megazord battles require coordination, and Zords can be damaged or overwhelmed. Their enemies often exploit teamwork disruptions. Excuse me. Blend of martial arts, weapon-based combat, and giant robot battles, they face monsters that grow to giant size, requiring Zord deployment. And then the new team. 5 cyber monkeys led by a human teenager who gain powers via the power primate. Each monkey has unique abilities. Chiro is enhanced by the power primate. He has super strength, energy attacks, and leadership skills. We get Antari, spiritual leader with telekinesis, ghost claws, and wisdom. If I remember correctly, dies and comes back. Gibson, scientific genius with drill-based weapons and analytic skills. Nova, strong melee fighter with E-based fists. Otto, mechanic with saw-based weapons and engineering skills. And Sparks, pilot with magnetic and electric attacks. Their super robot is a massive modular robot that splits into 6 vehicles or combined for combat. Primary attack, Lasertron Fury, powerful chest-mounted laser beam. It also has eye lasers, missile launchers, and versatile configuration. Kira unifies the team, but the monkeys have distinct personalities that can lead to occasional friction. They're highly effective when synchronized, especially in the super robot. Chiro's inexperience early on can be a liability. Though he matures, the super robot requires all members to operate effectively, and internal disagreements can disrupt the coordination. Their enemies often target Chiro as a linchpin. Combines individual high-tech combat and large-scale battles using Super Robot. They face diverse threats from ground-based enemies to cosmic entities, often in Shigazome City or space. I'm sorry, I love this type of shit. And I'm just kind of geeking out. I love Power Rangers, and nobody really remembers Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go. And I intentionally say that fast because nobody fucking picks it up the first time and has to ask again, so I have to explain what the show is. Since both teams operate in different scales, we'll evaluate two primary scenarios: individual combat, the Rangers versus the Hyperforce members, and mech combat, the Megazord versus the Super Robot. The battlefield is assumed to be a neutral environment like Shigazuma City, as suggested in fan discussions, allowing both teams to utilize their full arsenal. So for the Power Rangers, for their individual combat, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are superhuman with strength to lift heavy objects and durability to withstand monster attacks. Their martial arts training and weapons give them a versatility. Again, they only say two different weapons, but it's never the same two weapons as the previous answer. Tommy's green/white ranger powers add flair with energy attacks, and wow, they've really brought Saba into this. A sentient sword. However, their powers depend on morphers, and prolonged battles can strain their energy. Unmorphed, they're skilled martial artists but lack superhuman traits, making them vulnerable to Hyperforce's constant enhancements. Chiro's power primate gives him comparable strength and energy attacks to a morphed ranger, but his combat skills rely on training from the monkeys, making him slightly less refined than the ranger's martial arts experience. The cyborg monkeys are permanently enhanced, which, with no need for morphing, Nova's brute strength, Sparks' magnetism, and Antari's telekinesis offer diverse attack options. Gibson's analytical mind and Otto's engineering could exploit environmental advantages. I'm just going to cut up every time I fuck up a word in this stream, and it's going to be like a 10-minute video of just fucking up words. Or I'm going to replay this stream to put it on YouTube, and I'm going to be messing up every word I say, and it's going to be beautiful because I hate my own voice. But I believe everyone hates their own voice. It's just one of those things about being human, isn't it? Tangent over. Excuse me again. Their high-tech weaponry outmatches the Rangers' more traditional power weapons in precision and range. In a straight fight, the Rangers' martial arts and teamwork give them an edge in hand-to-hand combat against Chiro and the monkeys, especially if Tommy leads. It's always about Jason David Frank. Will always be about Jason David Frank. Rest in peace. However, the monkeys' relentless cybernetic abilities and varied powers could overwhelm the Rangers over time. The Rangers' weapons are powerful but less technologically advanced than the Hyperforce's arsenal. For example, Kimberly's power bow is effective, but Spark's magnetic attacks or Gibson's drills could disrupt Ranger formations. If the Rangers are unmorphed, the Hyperforce dominates, as the monkeys' baseline abilities surpass human martial artists. The Hyperforce likely win a prolonged individual fight due to their permanent enhancements and technological edge. Though the Rangers' superior teamwork and Tommy's leadership could make it close, a quick, decisive Ranger victory is possible if they exploit Chiro's inexperience early on. Now it's the mech combat time, which I kind of agree that it would be close. I would actually like to see this as a death battle or something, but death battle I think is too scared to do things fun like this. Ah. So with mech combat, we've got the Megazord. The Dino Megazord is a 40-meter tall robot formed from 5 Zords wielding the Power Sword and energy attacks. It's durable, surviving explosions and monster assaults, but its movements are relatively slow and methodical. Unless they're thrown around like ragdolls because it's a guy in a suit. Welcome to the 90s. The Dragon Zord, controlled by Tommy, adds firepower with missile barrages and melee strikes, and can combine with the other Zords into the Dino Zord battle mode. Later seasons introduced the Thunder Megazord, faster with the Thunder Saber, and Tiger Zord, but we'll focus on the original Dino Megazord for fairness. I appreciate that, Grok. I really do. Weakness includes reliance on Ranger coordination and vulnerability to sustained damage as seen in fights against powerful foes like Cyclosus. Sus. And then the Super Robot. The Super Robot is a massive modular mech that splits into 6 vehicles, each piloted by a team member. Its primary weapon, the Lasertron Fury, is a high-energy beam capable of destroying large targets. It has eye lasers, missile launchers, and adaptable configurations. I think that's just copy and pasted from up above. But the Lasertron Fury is cool. If you've never seen the show, I highly recommend watching it. I don't know if it's still on Disney Plus, but you can. I don't advocate for torrenting, but you can look on Google and YouTube. But the Lasertron Fury is just the giant square that's the center of the robot fires a giant square laser. It's huge. The Super Robot's versatility allows it to shift between offensive and defensive modes, and its smaller vehicles can attack independently, making it harder to pin down. It serves as the Hyperforce's mobile base, suggesting advanced technology. Weaknesses include the need for all pilots to be synchronized, and damage to key components can impair its function. Firepower. The Super Robot's Lasertron Fury and missile array would likely outmatch the Megazord's Power Sword and basic energy attacks raw destructive power. The Super Robot's ability to split into vehicles gives it technical flexibility, allowing it to flank or overwhelm the Megazord. And our music stopped. So we're going to try to restart this. There, and now it shouldn't be as quiet in the background. Sorry for that, folks. Both mechs are durable, but the Megazord has been defeated or heavily damaged by single powerful monsters. The Super Robot is designed to combat cosmic threats like the Skeleton King's forces may have superior resilience due to its advanced tech. The Super Robot's modular design and flight capabilities give it an edge over the Megazord's slower ground-based movements. The Megazord's Dragon Zord battle mode adds some agility, but not enough to counter the Super Robot's versatility. The Ranger's Megazord require precise teamwork and disruptions. I am reading that right. I'm just slow. Weaken it. The super robot similarly relies on Chihiro's leadership, but the monkey's individual vehicles allow them to maintain pressure even if one pilot is compromised. The outcome? The super robot likely wins due to its superior firepower, adaptability, and technological sophistication. The Megazord could hold its own briefly with the Power Sword or the Dragon Zord's support, but the super robot's ability to attack with multiple angles and its devastating Lasertron fury would overwhelm it. Oh, full team battle, so they did all 3 scenarios. Nice. In a combined battle, both teams deploy their individual skills and mechs. The fight might start with ground combat, escalate to mecha, or involve spontaneous engagements. Simultaneous, i.e. some rangers fight monkeys while others pilot Zords. As discussed, the Hyperforce's cyborg enhancements and tech give them a slight edge over the Rangers, though the Rangers' teamwork could prolong the fight. If the Hyperforce targets the Rangers' morphers or exploits Chihiro's energy attacks, they could force the Rangers to retreat or escalate to Zords. Excuse me. The super robot's dominance over the Megazord becomes the deciding factor. Even if the Rangers summon the Dragon Zord or Thunder Megazord, the super robot's versatility and firepower outclass them. Wildcards. Ooh. Tommy's leadership. It always comes back to Jason David Frank. Tommy's experience as the Green/White Ranger could inspire a strategic upset, such as luring the super robot into a trap or exploiting the Hyperforce's occasional infighting. Atari's telekinesis and spiritual insight could counter Ranger strategies, potentially disrupting their morphing or Zord summon. Sugar Zoom City favors the Hyperforce, who know its terrain and have fought cosmic threats there. The Rangers are adaptable but less familiar with the high-tech setting. So it has 4 key factors: technologies, team dynamics, experience, and leadership. And I can already see what the conclusion is going to be, but I'm still going to read because this is fun for me. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce goes cyborg monkeys and Super Robot are more technologically advanced than the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers morphing grid-based powers and Zords, which rely on ancient magic and tech from Zordon. The Super Robot's spacefaring capabilities and modular design surpass the Megazord's earthbound functionality. Both teams are tight-knit, but Rangers' martial arts focus and reliance on morphing make them slightly less flexible than the Hyperforce, who are always on as cyborgs and have diverse abilities. The Rangers face weekly monster threats, giving them combat experience, but the Hyperforce battle against Skeleton King and cosmic entities, suggesting they handle higher stake conflicts. Chihiro's growth as a leader is impressive, but Tommy's battle-hardened experience, especially as the White Ranger, give the Rangers a strategic edge in clutch moments. In a fight between the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, the Hyperforce is likely to win in most scenarios due to their technological superiority, permanent enhancements, and the Super Robot's dominance over the Megazord. The Rangers' teamwork, martial arts prowess, and Tommy's leadership make them formidable, potentially winning a quick round battle if they exploit Chihiro's inexperience or isolate the monkeys. However, in a prolonged or mech-heavy fight, the Hyperforce's advanced technology, versatile super robot, and relentless combat style give them the edge. The final verdict: the Hyperforce wins 70-30 advantage. Assuming standard conditions and full team deployment, if the Rangers could summon additional Zords, i.e. Tinnitus for the Ultra Zord, to Tarnus, that word, or level Zordon's guidance, they might narrow the gap, but the Hyperforce's cosmic level tech and adaptability are too much for the original Mighty Morphin team to overcome. Let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. To evaluate how the Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go would fare against other Power Ranger teams, we'll compare the Hyperforce and their Super Robot to a selection of notable Ranger teams beyond Mighty Morphin. Since there are 20 Power Ranger seasons, we'll focus on a few iconic and diverse teams to cover a range of eras and tech. This will include Zeo in space, Time Force, SPD, and RPM. Where's my love for Lightspeed Rescue? But I understand because of the leaps in tech and the eras of the shows, those are the most diverse. But where's my love for Lightspeed Rescue? This analysis will consider each team's ability, teamwork, Zords, and how they stack up against the Hyperforce in individual combat and mech combat. Assuming a neutral battlefield like Sugarzoom City, which still gives them the home team advantage of the Hyperforce. But I understand Sugarzoom City is the easiest to do because all the others are different battlefields and give them all slight advantages. The Hyperforce's profile remains consistent from the previous answer, so we'll focus on the Ranger teams and key matchups. As we know, the Hyperforce, we already went through them in the previous question. We've got Chiro and his primate powers, and then we've got the 5 cyber monkeys: Atari, Gibson, Nova, Otto, and Sparks. If you want to read a quick summary of their abilities, I'm not going to read them because I already did. But you can pause the video and read it, or go back if you want to just go back like 20 minutes. It's okay with me to rewatch. I'll always be here. You're stuck with me. Anyway, the Power Ranger teams and matchups. Each Ranger team brings unique powers, tech, and Zords, so we'll analyze their strengths and how they counter the Hyperforce. We start with Zeo, 96. Oh, I was 2 years old. Oh, I'm old. We got Tommy, Kat, Tanya, Adam, and Rocky. Oh, they do say about Jason, but are they going to use Rocky or are they going to use Jason? Because those are two different team dynamics. Powered by the Zeo Crystal, making them stronger than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Enhanced strength, speed, durability. Beyond Mighty Morphin, each Ranger has unique weapons and martial arts skills. The Zeo Zords form the Zeo Megazord, which is faster and more powerful than the Dino Megazord, with interchangeable helmet-based weapons. Super Zeo Megazord, a separate heavy-duty mech, and Red Battle Zord, Tommy's high-speed sword, add versatility. It's just Carrier Zord Pyramidas. Stupid. can form warrior mode or carry other Megazords. Their teamwork is strong, led by Tommy's experience. They face tougher enemies like the Machine Empire. They still rely on the Morphers. Zords require coordination, and Pure Midas is slow. That's an understatement. It's a pyramid. Individual combat. The Zeo Rangers are stronger than the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. With better weapons, their martial arts match the Hyperforce's ground combat, but the monkeys' permanent enhancements give them an edge in prolonged fights. Chiro's Power Primate matches Tommy's Zeo powers, but Tommy's combat experience could overmatch Chiro. The monkey's tech outclassed Zeo's weapons in range and precision. Well, yeah, because they've got permanent weapons, as the Rangers still rely on their Morphers. Hyperforce's likely edges out due to no morphing dependency and diverse abilities, but Zeo's teamwork make it closer than Mighty Morphin, which I agree with. Zeo's Megazord is more advanced than the Dino Megazord, with modular weapons and better agility. Super Zeo Megazord is a tank, and Red Battlezord adds speed. Pure Midas in Warrior Mode is massive but slow. Super Robot's Lasertron Fury and vehicle splitting abilities outmatch Zeo Megazord's firepower and mobility. Pure Midas could withstand initial attacks, but its sluggishness makes it vulnerable to the Super Robot's multi-agile assaults. Multi-angle assaults. Super Robot wins due to superior versatility and cosmic-grade tech, though Super Zeo Megazord and Pure Midas prolong the fight. And it's 65-35. Zeo's enhanced powers and Zords are a step up from Mighty Morphin, but the Hyperforce's tech and Super Robot's adaptability overpower them in most scenarios. Which I agree with. Zeo's right after Mighty Morphin, so it's just one step up. Now we get to In Space. With Andros, Ashley, Carlos, Cassie, TJ, and later Zane. Galactic Defenders with advanced tech. Superhuman abilities with high-tech weapons. Zane's Silver Ranger powers include teleportation and versatility. The Astro Megazord is space capable with energy shields and blasters. The Delta Megazord adds firepower, and the Mega Voyager has missile barrages and a powerful sable. The Mega Winger, still doesn't sound right to say, provides air support. Teamwork is exceptional with Andros' leadership and Zane's wildcard energy. They battle cosmic threats such as Andromeda and the Dark Spectre. Still the morphing reliance. Swords are powerful but can be outmaneuvered by faster enemies. Individual combat. In Space Rangers' high-tech weapons rival Hyperforce's arsenal, and their space combat training matches the monkey's cosmic experience. Zane's teleportation could disrupt Antari or Sparks. Chiro's Power Primate holds up against Andros, but the monkey's diverse powers give them a slight edge over the Rangers' more uniform abilities. Near tie, but Hyperforce's permanent enhancements tip the scale slightly in their favor. Mech combat. Astro Megazord and Mega Voyager are spacefaring, matching the Super Robot's cosmic capabilities. Their shields and missile attacks counter Lasertron Fury, and Delta Megazord's cannons add pressure. Super Robot's versatility, splitting into vehicles, and maneuverability give it an edge over the bulkier Astro Megazord. Mega Voyager's firepower is formidable, but the Super Robot's ability to attack from multiple vectors overwhelming. The Super Robot narrowly wins due to tactical flexibility, though this space's space combat. The space's space experience make it a tough fight. 55-45. In Space's advanced tech and spacefaring Zords make them the closest match, but the Super Robot's versatility and Monkey's relentless abilities secure the slight advantage. And we've got Time Force, which I think I called the previous one Time Force, but it was in space. Thank you for dealing with me, chat. I love you all. With the team comprised of Wes, Jen, Lucas, Katie, Tripp, and leader Eric. Time-traveling law enforcers with futuristic tech. Which is funny because Time Force should have much further tech than RPM. But RPM is a different timeline, if I remember correctly. Oh, the Power Rangers timeline is so convoluted, it might as well be Kingdom Hearts. Advanced strength and durability with Chrono Blasters and V-Weapons, Tripp's psychic abilities, and Katie's super strength add versatility. Variety. I'm just gonna skip that, I'm sorry. I tried. Eric's Quantum Ranger powers include voice-activated tech and Quantum Defender. The Zords. Time Flyers form the Time Force Megazord in both red and blue modes. The Shadow Winger and Quantosaurus Rex, which we're just gonna call the Q-Rex. I'm not gonna say Quantosaurus 15 times. Our powerful solo Zords. Time Shadow Megazord adds stealth and firepower. They're disciplined with Jen's strict leadership and Wes's adaptability. Eric's lone wolf style can cause friction. Still the more for reliance, Zords are strong but less modular than later teams. In individual combat, the Time Force's futuristic weapons match the Hyperforce's tech. Katie's strength rivals Nova's. Tripp's psychic powers could counter Antari's telekinesis, and Eric's Quantum Defender is a wild card. The Monkey's permanent enhancements and diverse attacks give them an edge in sustained combat. Kira's leadership improves against Wes, but Jen's tactical skills keep it competitive. Hyperforce wins narrowly due to no morphing downtime and border ability range. Which makes sense because the Time Force does kind of close up. With mech combat, the Time Force Megazord's dual modes and Team Shadow's stealth are impressive, but the Super Robot's modularity and Lasertron Furies outpace their firepower. Q-Rex is powerful but ground-based, vulnerable to the Super Robot's aerial and multi-vehicle tactics. The Super Robot dominates due to superior adaptability through Time Shadow's stealth prolongs the fight. 60-40. 60-40. Time Fury's futuristic tech and disciplined teamwork make them formidable, but the Hyperforce's cosmic-grade Super Robot and relentless relentless monkeys this time prevail. Then we got us SPD, which was 20 years ago. I'm sorry, my beard just got gray. With Jack, Sky, Bridge, Z, Sid, and later Sam, which we never actually see, he's just the ball of light that exists. And Doggy Kruger, future police force with genetic enhancements. Oh, we're actually giving them their genetic abilities. This will be interesting. Enhanced abilities through genetic powers, Delta blasters, specialized weapons. And specialized weapons are high-tech. Doggy's Shadow Ranger mode and Cat's Cat Ranger add heavy hitters, but Cat's Cat Ranger was only available once. We can't add that because it was one use only. It was only in the Japanese Super Sentai that it was multi-use, as far as I know. The Delta Runners form the Delta Megazord with blasters and grappling capabilities. The Omega Max Megazord is fast, and the Delta Command Megazord is massive. SWAT mode upgrades add flight and firepower. Police trained with Jack's leadership evolving, Doggy's experience anchoring them. So the more for Reliance, the swords are stronger but less versatile than Cosmic Max. With individual combat, we've got SPD's genetic powers. Rival the monkey's abilities in SWAT modes. Tech matches the Hyperforce's arsenal. The Shadow Saber could challenge Chiro and Nova. I would say it would challenge Chiro and Nova because the Shadow Saber is broken. The Shadow Ranger is an overpowered ranger and was from the beginning. He even gets an ATV. The monkey's permanent enhancements and Antari's telekinesis give them a slight edge as SPD's powers are situational. Chiro holds his own against Jack, but Bridges... I'm sorry, folks. That's another one of those words that just flies over my head. But Bridges' powers could predict Hyperforce's movements. Hyperforce wins narrowly due to sustained combat ability, though SPD's tech keeps it close. With mech combat, the Delta Megazord and Delta Command Megazord are durable, with SWAT mode adding mobility. However, the Super Robot's modularity, space capabilities, and Lasertron Fury outlast them in versatility and raw power. The Super Robot wins as SPD Zords lack the cosmic adaptability to counter its multi-vehicle tactics. Another 60-40. SPD's advanced technology and police tactics make them a strong opponent, but Hyperforce's Super Robot and constant enhancements tip the scales. Damn. Hey, great that you're a first-time chatter. Thank you for your chat, but I'm not buying views. And I'm going to real quick throw up some ahs. Because I'm tired of that. Now we get to RPM, which was 2009. 16 years ago, folks. I just noticed that my chat isn't on screen. Why isn't my chat on screen? Why doesn't my chat appear on screen? I'm sorry for the slight tangent, folks. I just noticed that. Because we have people in chat, we have people talking, it's just not up on screen. Curse you, OBS. Apologies, I'm new to OBS. I've been using Streamlabs this whole time. You don't get chat. I'm sorry. You'll have to look at chat for chat. But I appreciate everyone here. With Scott, Flynn, Summer, Ziggy, Dylan, and later Gem and Gemma. Stupid name for twins. Post-apocalyptic survivors with biofield tech. The biofield-powered suits grant enhanced strength, speed, and durability, unique weapons and abilities. Gem and Gemma's explosives add chaos. The high-octane Megazord is agile with energy attacks. The Mech Megazord and Paleomax Megazord add variety. Skyrev Megazord and RPM Ultrazord are massive and heavily armed. Scrappy but effective with Scott's leadership and Dylan's lone wolf edge, they face Vengex, a high-tech based apocalyptic threat. Morpher Reliance and the Zords are powerful but can be outmaneuvered by modular mechs. So I'm going to guess Hyperforce? Oh, look at that. I don't even have to look far down. But I'm still going to go through it because I'm a nerd and I love this. Individual combat, the RPM's biofield tech and Dylan's invulnerability match the Hyperforce's enhancements. Gem and Gemma's explosives could disrupt the monkeys, and Ziggy's unpredictability counter auto and sparks. The monkey's diverse powers and Chiro's power primate give them a slight edge in sustained fights, as RPM's abilities are tech-dependent. Hyperforce wins narrowly due to permanent enhancements, though RPM's grit makes it close. In mech combat, the RPM Ultrazord's firepower rival Lasertron Fury, and Mech Megazord's aerial capabilities challenge the Super Robot's mobility. However, the Super Robot's modularity and cosmic-grade durability allow it to outmaneuver and outlast the RPM Zords. Super Robot wins in its vehicle-splitting tactics overwhelm RPM's bulkier formation. 55-45. Interesting. RPM's post-apocalyptic tech and Ultrazord make them tough matchups, but the Super Robot's versatility secures the win. The key factors across teams. We've got technology, morphing versus permanent powers, mech combat, teamwork and leadership, and experience. Hyperforce's cybernetic enhancements and Super Robot are cosmic grade, surpassing most Ranger teams' Earth-based or near-future tech. In Space and SPD come closest with spacefaring and futuristic gear, but the Super Robot's modularity remain unmatched. All robot teams rely on morphers, making them vulnerable if unmorphed or disrupted. The Hyperforce's always-on enhancements give them a constant edge in prolonged battles. The Super Robot's ability to split into vehicles, operate in space, and deploy Lasertron Fury outclasses most Megazords, which are typically bulkier and less adaptive. In Space's Astro Megazord and RPM's Ultrazord are the strongest contenders, but still fall short. Power Ranger teams like Zeo, Time Force, and SPD have disciplined leadership, rivaling Chiro's growth. However, the monkey's occasional friction is offset by their diverse skill set, matching Ranger's teamwork. Hyperforces battle cosmic threats like Skeleton King, giving them an edge over Earthbound teams. Zeo, SPD, RPM, In Space and Time Force have galactic and temporal enemies, are closer in scope, but lack the super robot's raw power. The final verdict. Overall verdict, same thing. The Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go is likely to defeat most Ranger teams due to their permanent enhancements, advanced technology, and Super Robot's unmatched versatility. Here's a summary of the outcomes. Zeo 65-35, In Space 55-45, Time Force 60-40, SPD 60-40, and RPM 55-45, all in favor of Hyperforce. Those are some powerful monkeys. In Space possesses the greatest threat due to their space combat experience. Astro's Megazord capabilities and Zane's wildcard powers, but even they are edged out by the Super Robot's tactical flexibility. If Rangers access rare power-ups, i.e. Space Battleizer, Time Force Mega Battle, they could close the gap. Teams with larger arsenals, RPM's Ultra Zord, SPD's Delta Command, might win in specific scenarios with perfect strategy. Understandable because they're very situational. The RPM Ultra Zord's just a giant flying fish. Look at this thing. I want you to find me a working joint on this fucking robot, besides the shoulders. Because if you tell me there are knees on this thing, I'm going to ask you to point me fucking where. Environmental factors or external support, i.e. Zordon for the Rangers, Alchemist for the Hyperforce, could sway outcomes. Yeah, let's go against Ninja Steel. That's a newer one. Oh my gosh, they referenced the post. Who posted about the Hyperforce versus Ninja Steel? Oh my gosh, I want to be your friend. To compare Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go to Power Rangers Ninja Steel in a hypothetical battle, we'll analyze their abilities, strengths, weaknesses, combat dynamics, focusing on how they match up in individual combat and mech combat. Since both are action-oriented teams inspired by Super Sentai, we'll assume the neutral battlefield like Shigazum City, allowing full use of their arsenals. This analysis will consider standard capabilities from their respective series. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go's profile from the prior answer, and Ninja Steel's details drawn from its show and related sources. So since we've already gone over the Hyper Team now multiple times, I'm going to skip over this for now, but if you need to have a refresher, let me move my cursor out of the way so you can read. You're welcome to pause the video or come back to this timestamp. I'm not going to tell you the timestamp because I don't know the timestamp. But just know that they're Chiro, a human teenager with the power of primate, and the 5 monkeys Oh. And they're adding Jinmei. That's new. Robot Girl joins as the 7th member in Season 3. May be included for fairness. So I will read slightly because Jinmei's new information. Robot Girl with strength, agility, and energy attacks akin to Chihiro's powers. I'm trying to remember Jinmei more. But we're here to focus on the Power Rangers, not the monkeys. But the monkeys will probably win because the monkeys are OP. And I might have them fight Ben next because nobody has beaten Ben 10. Alien X is too overpowered. But we've got the core team of Brody, Sarah, Preston, Haley, Levi, I hope that's his name. Additional Rangers are Dane, Mick, no green or black Ranger, but a white Ranger appears briefly. Good thing we're going with the American one because the Super Sentai one might win. The Super Sentai is broken. Morph powers powered by Ninja Power Stars and the Ninja Nexus Prism. Oh, my brain. Granting superhuman strength, speed, and agility. Each Ranger has unique weapons. Special moves include Ninja Super Steel Mode and Ninja Master Mode. So we're going with Super Ninja Steel, not just Ninja Steel. So this takes into account both of the shows, which I would want it to because they're both the same show. Thank you, Nickelodeon. Or was this back with Saban? Or was this the Hasbro era? I don't know. This was after my time, folks. But I'm still going to be into it because I'm a Power Rangers nerd. Preston's magic, Levi's music-based attacks, Sarah's holograms, Haley's nature affinity. I don't know how nature affinity can be a power, but okay. Brody, Dane, and Mick share Red Ranger powers, with Dane's experience and Mick's shape-shifting adding depth. We've got the Ninja Steel Zords, form the Ninja Steel Megazord with sword-based attacks and agility. Bull Rider Zord forms the Rodeo Megazord, and the Ninja Ultra Zord combines multiple Megazords for heavy firepower. Lion Fire Fortress is a massive carrier Zord with laser attacks. Their teamwork is strong with Brody's leadership and Sarah's tactical skills. Family dynamics, Brody and Dane, and Mick's mentorship enhance cohesion. They face Galvanix. That's what I'll pronounce that as. And his galaxy-spanning game of show warriors. Oh yeah, this is the one where it was a galactic game show. I need to watch the newer season sooner or later. Reliant on power stars for morphing. Unmorphed, they're skilled but vulnerable. Zords are powerful but less modular than the super robot. Some reliance on Prism's unpredictability. Ninja-themed martial arts, weapon-based combat, giant robot battles. They face monsters in a televised intergalactic arena, often escalating to Zord fights. So we've got the fight scenarios. We'll evaluate individual combat and mecha combat, considering team size 6 or 7 for Hyperforce, 6 for Super Ninja Steel, with Dane or Mick as potential add-ons. For individual combat, Chihiro's Power of Primate offers electric-based attacks and agility comparable to a Morph Ranger. His leadership grows over time, but lacks Brody's battle-hardened edge. The monkey's permanent enhancements ensure no downtime. Nova's strength rival Dane's. Antari's telekinesis counter Preston's magic, and Spark's magnetism disrupt Levi's guitar. Gibson's drills outrange Haley's bow, and auto saws match Sarah's speed. Jinmei's robotic powers add a 7th fighter, balancing the numbers. Their anime-inspired combat give them an edge in chaotic battles, with Antari's spiritual insight and Gibson's intellect exploiting weaknesses. Then we move on to Ninja Steel. Morph Rangers are superhuman with ninja abilities and weapons like Brody's Star Blade, Preston's magic wand. Ninja Super Steel mode boosts durability, and Ninja Master mode adds flight. Flying magic ninjas. I need to be on whatever they're smoking because oh my gosh, that's good. I'm joking. Partially. Unique abilities enhance versatility. Preston's telekinesis and illusions challenge Antari. Sarah's holograms confuse Otto. Levi's music disrupts Sparks. And Haley's nature-based attacks target Gibson. Dane's experience as a veteran ninja and Mick's shape-shifting as the Red Ranger add unpredictability. Unmorphed, they're skilled martial artists trained by ninjas like Koda? But lack superhuman traits, making them vulnerable to Hyperforce's constant enhancements. Power matchup, Chiro versus Brody is close, but Brody's ninja training edging out Chiro's raw power. Nova versus Dane favors Nova's relentless strength, while Antari versus Preston is a telekinesis stalemate. Sparks' magnetism disrupts Levi's high-tech, tech-heavy guitar, and Gibson's drills overpower Haley's ranged attacks. Otto versus Sarah is tight, but Sarah's speed and holograms give her a slight edge. Jinmei and Mick tilt toward Jinmei's robotic durability. Hyperforce's cybernetic tech outclasses Ninja Steel's ninja gadgets in precision and range, but Ninja Master Mode's flight and Preston's magic add unpredictability. The Hyperforce lack of morphing dependency gives them an edge in prolonged fights, as Ninja Steel Rangers risk demorphing under pressure. I didn't know they demorphed if the Power Stars got damaged. That's a huge weakness since it's right in front of them. The Hyperforce narrowly wins individual combat due to permanent enhancements, diverse abilities, and Jinmei's extra firepower. Ninja Steel's ninja agility, magic, and modes make it close, especially with Dane and Mick, but the monkey's relentless attack tips the scales. Now for mech combat. We've got the Super Robot, again a modular, space-capable mech that splits into 6 vehicles powered by Jiro and the monkeys. It's got Lasertron Fury, missiles, eye lasers, versatile configurations, and they fight the Skeleton King. Strength includes multi-angle attacks because they're vehicles, and flight, ideal for Sugar Zoom City and space because it's their home turf. Weakness is the pilot's coordination. Damage to key components can impair it. The Ninja Steel Megazord, formed by the 5 Ninja Steel Zords, is agile with sword-based attacks and ninja-themed energy strikes. Durable but less firepower heavy than later Zords. Levi's Bull Rider Zord based mecha with lasso attacks and speed, but less durable than the main Megazord. Combine the Ninja Ultra Zord, combining both previous Zords with heavy missile barrage and energy attacks, more powerful but bulkier, sacrificing speed. The Lion Fire Fortress, a massive carrier Zord with laser cannons and the ability to deploy Lion Fire Megazord, a high-speed ninja mech. Its firepower rivals the Ultra Zord, but is less modular. Weakness includes relying on Ranger coordination and vulnerability to sustain damage, as seen against Galvanix's warriors. Firepower, the Lasertron Fury matches and exceeds the Ninja Ultra Zord's missile barrage and the Lion Fire Fortress's lasers. So Lasertron Fury's still overpowered to this day. The Super Robot's eye lasers and missiles add versatility, while Ninja Steel's sword-based attacks are less effective at range. The Super Robot's vehicle-splitting ability and spaceflight outmaneuver the Ninja Steel Megazord's ground-based agility. Lion Fire Megazord's speed is a challenge, but the Super Robot's multi-angle tactics counter it. Both are durable, but the Super Robot's cosmic-grade design likely surpass the Ninja Ultra Zord, which struggles against Galvanix's elite monsters. The Lion Fire Fortress is a tank but slow. Words. Vulnerable to flanking. Why are all of the Power Rangers weaker than the next? The Hyperforce's experience in cosmic battles give them a strategic edge over Ninja Steel's arena-style fights. Antari's insight and Gibson's analysis could exploit the Zord's weakness, while Brody's leadership keeps Ninja Steel competitive. The Super Robot wins due to its modularity, cosmic adaptability, and superior firepower. The Ninja Ultra Zord and Lion Fire Fortress pose a threat with raw power, but their bulkier designs can't match the Super Robot's tactical flexibility. With both individual and mech, in a combined battle, both teams deploy individual skills and mechs, either separately or simultaneously. In the ground phase, the Hyperforce's permanent enhancements and Jinmei's addition give them a slight edge over Ninja Steel's morphed powers. Though Preston's magic and Ninja Master Mode flight keep it close. If the Rangers are unmorphed, the Hyperforce dominates. The Super Robot's dominance over the Ninja Ultra Zord and Lion Fire Fortress become the deciding factor. Even with Ninja Steel's full Zord arsenal, the Super Robot's vehicle tactics, Lasertron Fury overwhelm them. Wildcards. Ninja Nexus Prism. The Prism's ability to generate new power stars could introduce unexpected Power Ranger upgrades, but its unpredictability might disrupt communication, coordination, enunciation. As a sixth member, Jinmei balances the team and counters Mick or Dane, enhancing Hyperforce's ground game. Shigazum City favors the Hyperforce, who know the terrain and fight cosmic threats there. Ninja Steel adapts well, but their Zords are less space ready. Key factors: technology, morphing, mech combat, team dynamics, and experience, almost like the last one. Hyperforce's cybernetic monkeys and Super Robot are cosmic grade, surpassing Ninja Steel's ninja tech, which is advanced but Earth-centric. The Super Robot's space capabilities outclass Ninja Steel's ground-based Zords. Ninja Steel's reliance on power stars make them vulnerable if demorphed, while the Hyperforce's always-on enhancements ensure consistency. This is crucial to prolong or surprise battles. The Super Robot's modularity and Lasertron Fury outmatch the Ninja Ultra Zord and Lionfire fortresses, which are powerful but less adaptable. Ninja Steel's Zords excel in direct combat but struggle against multi-angle attacks. Both teams have strong leadership, Chiro or Brody, but Ninja Steel's family ties, Brody and Dane, and mixed mentorship add emotional cohesion. The Hyperforce's diverse monkey personalities balance this with tactical variety. The Hyperforce's cosmic battles against Skeleton King give them an edge in scale, while Ninja Steel's arena fights against Galvanic's warriors hone their adaptability. The Hyperforce's border scope trumps Ninja Steel's Earth-focused mission. Both teams are Sentai-inspired, with a young hero guiding a diverse group against a central villain. They rely on teamwork, unique abilities, and giant robots to face escalating threats in an anime/ninja aesthetic, shaping their combat styles. Both have mentor figures, Antari and Nick/Coda, and face moral/ethical challenges, though Hyperforce explores deeper themes. Hyperforce's cosmic, cybernetics, and spacefaring super robot outclass Ninja Steel's ninja-based tech and Earth-based Zords. Hyperforce's permanent power primate and cybernetics contrast the Ninja Steel's morphing-based power stars, making the former more resilient. Hyperforce protects the universe, while Ninja Steel focuses on Earth and the Nexus Prism, giving Hyperforce a broader combat scope. I think I said that is border before. Thanks, brain. Hyperforce blends anime seriousness with humor, exploring complex themes, while Ninja Steel is lighter with a game show villain and ninja flair. In conclusion, in a battle between the Super Robot Monkey team and Power Ranger Ninja Steel, the Hyperforce is likely to win due to their permanent enhancement, cosmic-grade technology, and Super Robot's versatility. In individual combat, the Hyperforce's diverse abilities and Jinmei support outmatch Ninja Steel's agility, magic, and modes, though Preston's telekinesis and Ninja Master mode make it competitive. Same thing. In mech combat, the Super Robot's modularity and Lasertron Fury outpass the Ninja Ultra Zord and Lionfire Fortress, which lack the same tactical flexibility. We've got another 60-40, gentlemen and ladies, and anyone else joining the chat. Ninja Steel's ninja prowess, family dynamics, and Zord's firepower pose a strong challenge, especially with the Nexus Prism's potential surprises. But the Hyperforce's relentless tech, cosmic experience, and adaptable super robot secure the victory. Excuse me. If Ninja Steel acquired rare power-ups or fought in a ninja-friendly environment, they could narrow the gap, but the Hyperforce's advantage are decisive. Would any common rider be able to beat the Hyperforce? Now we're switching over from Power Rangers to Tokusatsu, where Power Rangers came from. To determine whether any common rider could defeat the Super Robot Monkey team, we need to compare the capabilities of common riders. iconic tokusatsu heroes from the long-running Japanese franchise. With Hyperforce, a team of 6 or 7 with Jinmei, anime-inspired cyborg monkeys with a human leader. Since the Kamen Rider franchise spans over 50 years with dozens of riders across the series, we're focused on a range of riders from different eras, prioritizing those with abilities most likely to counter the Hyperforce's strength. I agree with doing this. The Hyperforce's profile is consistent from the prior answer, so we'll emphasize their collective power and super robot, then analyze key Kamen Riders to assess if any could fight. When a solo fight, one rider against the entire Hyperforce, or team scenario, a rider with allies and a battlefield is neutral, Shigasum City again. Now, I will apologize, folks. I will have to be right back. Bathroom calls. I am back, folks. How are we doing? My little bit of incoherent rage is over. Rage. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna recognize Clem and ask me about Warframe. I'd be disappointed I don't play Warframe. But I don't play Warframe anymore. The Super Robot Monkey team doesn't change, so we're not going to read about them again. But if you need to read them or need to know about them, I will leave this up for a few seconds. If you would like to pause the video and read, you're welcome to. I don't know how well it's coming across. Maybe I'm a jerk this whole time and none of you can read anything, and I've just been mumbling to myself. That's okay too. If you're here after the video is live, thank you for watching. If you're here live, thank you for watching. I'm gonna say thank you a lot. Kamen Rider overview. Kamen Riders are individual heroes who transform using belts or devices, gaining superhuman abilities to fight monsters, aliens, or cosmic threats. Each rider has unique powers, weapons, and forms, often tied to a motif. Insects, technology, myths, fruit, cars, time. The franchise spans Showa, Heisei, and Reiwa eras. We are currently in the Reiwa era, with power levels varying from street-level martial artists to god-level entities. For this analysis, we'll select riders with abilities suited to counter the Hyperforce team's dynamic, tech, and mech, focusing on solo potential, but noting team scenarios where relevant. Henshin. Transformation via belts grant enhanced strength, speed, durability, and specialized weapons. Most riders have multiple forms, ranging from balanced to hyper-specialized. Hyper-specialized is an understatement once we get to the later eras, because everything's a walking anniversary special. So everyone has every power. You tell me this as it almost hits 5 o'clock. when I should have had dinner on half an hour ago, but I've been streaming and talking. So, we're going to finish off here. We're not going to finish off yet. We're just going to finish reading, and then I'll end off the video. It looks like we're not having long dinner. We're going to have a quick dinner or a hour worth dinner. All right. I wasn't even done reading. I started to skip ahead. Ugh. But yes, they get hyper specialized sometimes. Stronger forms often rival cosmic entities. Signature moves include rider kicks and weapon-based attacks. Many riders have vehicles, i.e. motorcycles, for mobility, though few have mech-scale constructs. Some have cars, some have bigger vehicles. Versatility, adaptability, and often plot-driven resilience, riders frequently overcome odds via willpower. That is important, that's why I read it. Top-tier riders wield reality-altering, time manipulating, and universe-level powers. Most riders fight solo, potentially overwhelmed by a coordinated team like the Hyperforce. Transformation devices can be disrupted, and base forms are often outmatched by Hyperforce's baseline enhancements, limited mecha-scale combat options. Martial arts, weapon-based combat, and high-energy finishers optimized for one-on-one or small group fights. Some riders scale to cosmic battles. So what I'm going to do, folks, bear with me. I do apologize about this because I do want to finish this up before I end off the video. So I'm going to have to download this and clip it, or those on YouTube watching, you can skip ahead a minute or two. I don't know. But I want to finish reading this. So I will be back in a minute or two once I throw things together. Thank you for your reliance, and thank you for keeping an eye on me. If you want to click off, you can, and come back in like 5 minutes, and I'll finish reading this. So Hi, folks. Enjoying the AI-driven music? Thank you, Suno.com. Now then, let's finish off this post so we can finish this video. Because this has been a very long video. And I thank you all for being here with me, each and every one of you. Drop a like, drop a follow, drop a comment. Come Chalk Live every Friday and whenever I feel like it. Use hashtag AHB if you want to talk to us. We'll evaluate the primary scenario, individual combat, mecha combat, where applicable. Since the riders lack giant robots, mech combat will focus on their ability to counter the super robot's power or summon. We'll analyze a range of riders from different eras, prioritizing those with high power levels and abilities tailored to the Hyperforce's strengths. Individual combat, Scenario 1. This is gonna get deep, folks. I'm sorry. I'm gonna label this something stupid, but oh my gosh, this has gotten deep, and I love Grok for this. I know we can't rely on AI too much or it'll destroy us, but all these scenarios have been fun and dumb. F in the chat. The Hyperforce has 6 or 7 members if they include Jinmei. Present a numerical or tactical advantage. With diverse abilities and no morphing dependency, a common rider must either overwhelm them quickly, neutralize their teamwork, or outlast their combined arsenals. Hyperforce's individual combat. We've been over this before, but I'm going to go into it because they're going to talk about different things. Tiro's Power Primate matches mid-tier riders' base form, with energy attacks rivaling weaker rider kicks. His leadership coordinates the team. Monkey's permanent enhancement ensure relentless pressure. Antari's telekinesis disrupt range attacks. Nova's strength challenges melee fighters. Sparks' magnetism targets metal weapons. Gibson's drills counter armor, and Otto's saws add chaos. I love how they don't actually give Otto anything serious. He's just that goofy one with the saws, because that's how he was in the show. Great. Jinmei's robotic powers add a 7th vector. Their teamwork honed against Skeleton King's armies allow them to flank, distract, and overwhelm single targets. Chihiro's inexperience and potential team friction could be exploited by a cunning rider. Now, we'll assess riders with increasing power levels from grounded to godlike to find one capable of defeating the Hyperforce solo. Oh, let's go. Common Rider Ichigo. The beginning. Cyborg with enhanced strength, agility, and the rider kick. Uses Cyclone Motorcycle for mobility, fight Shocker's monsters, which are comparable to Skeleton King's minions. Ichigo's martial arts and rider kick could take out 1 or 2 of the monkeys in a quick strike, but his Showa era power level street tier, lifting a few tons, is outmatched by the Hyperforce's combined strength. Nova's Heat Fist and Spark's magnetism overwhelm his cyborg frame, and Antari's telekinesis neutralize his mobility. The super robot isn't needed. Hyperforce wins easily. Ichigo's grit can't counter their numbers and tech. Poor Ichigo. Now we go for Black Sun. which is both Showa and the reboot mixed together. Interesting. Grasshopper-based rider with superhuman strength, speed, and Kingstone energy attacks. Black Sun's reboot version has enhanced durability and regenerative abilities, fighting Kaijin on par with mid-tier Hyperforce enemies. Against the Hyperforce, Black Sun's regeneration and raw power could withstand initial attacks from Chiro and Nova, potentially defeating weaker monkeys like Otto. However, Antari's telekinesis and Sparks' magnetism disrupt his physical focus, and Jinmei's energy attacks match his Kingstone bursts. His lack of range options and solo nature leave him vulnerable to coordinated assaults. Hyperforce wins. Black Sun lasts longer than Ichigo, but can't handle the team's diversity. Oh, poor Black Sun. And then we get to Decade. So they are doing this in a specific order. Decade can transform into other Heisei riders and their forms wielding their powers. His complete form accesses all riders' final forms with reality warping potential. Fights across dimensions, defeating universe-level threats. Decade's versatility counters the Hyperforce's diversity. He could use Agito's speed to evade Nova, Kabuto's clock up to outpace Sparks, or Deno's time manipulation to disrupt Antari. Complete form rider kicks channeled through all Heisei riders could one-shot weaker members like Gibson or Otto. However, the Hyperforce's numbers and teamwork could overwhelm them before he accesses complete form, as Decade's base form is only mid-tier. Damn. Calling him mid-tier. Decade has a chance if he reaches complete form quickly, but Hyperforce likely wins 70-30 due to their relentless pressure and numerical advantage. Then we got Kamen Rider Geo. Time manipulating rider who can summon past riders and use their powers via ride watches. Oma Geo's form is godlike and near omnipotent. Control over time, space, and reality, capable of destroying and recreating universes. Defeats Overlord level threats. Geo's base form struggles against the Hyperforce's numbers, but his ability to summon riders counter their diversity. Oma Geo obliterates them, freezing time to neutralize Antari's telekinesis, easily erasing Sparks' magnetism, and overpowering Nova's strength with universe-level rider kicks. The Hyperforce's teamwork can't counter reality manipulation. Geo wins decisively in Oma Geo form 90-10. Base or mid-tier forms lose to Hyperforce's coordination. Damn! I don't think anything's gonna beat Oma Geo though, because that was so overpowered. He had to not only use the next rider, but skipped ahead a year and used the rider 2 years ahead of him's power to defeat himself. Spoiler warnings. It was like 4 years ago. Kamen Rider Gaim. Fruit Jesus. Fruit-themed rider with samurai armor, wielding swords and guns. Kiwami arts. Grants access to all invisibilities. Invase. I've never learned how to pronounce that properly. Elemental attacks and summoning. Kachidoki arms is a heavy tank form. Defeats Overlord Invase who control dimensions, later gains godlike powers in tie-in media. I love tie-in media. Gaim's Kiwami arms matches the Hyperforce's versatility, summoning weapons to counter Gibson's drills or Sparks' magnetism. His durability tanks Nova's fists, and his speed evades Otto's saws. Antari's telekinesis is a challenge, but Gaim's elemental barrages could overwhelm him. Kira and Jinmei's energy attacks are matched, but Gaim's rider kick. As a solo fighter, Gaim risks being flanked, but his late series feats, dimension hopping, give him an edge. Gaim has a strong chance 60-40 with Kiwami arms, potentially winning with strategic summons, but Hyperforce's numbers could overwhelm him. And then we get to a newer one, Kamen Rider Beats. Fox-themed rider with a game-based form. Laser Raise Riser form has reality warping powers, manipulating battlefields and reviving allies. Fights in the Desire Grand Prix facing multiversal threats. Beats' versatility counters the Hyperforce's diversity. Magnum form outranges Gibson's drills, boost form dodges Nova's fists, Laser Raise Riser, it's a mouthful, manipulates the battlefield to isolate Shiro. Antari's telekinesis and Sparks' magnetism pose threats, but Beats' reality warping could disrupt their coordination. His solo nature limits him against the full team. Beats narrowly wins 55-45 in Laser Raise Riser form, but base form loses to Hyperforce's teamwork. See, that's funny that they kept him in Laser Raise Riser when he has four or five other forms. And then the last one, it seems, is going to be the most overbroken because it's invincible. Kamen Rider Hyper Muteki Exi. Game-themed rider with invincibility in Hyper Muteki form grants immunity to physical and temporal attacks for 10 seconds at a time. Can manipulate game mechanics, defeats, I can never pronounce his name right, Gamedras, a universe-threatening virus. Hypermuteki's invincibility nullifies the Hyperforce's attacks during bursts, allowing X8 to land critical rider kicks. His game manipulation could pause Antari or nerf Chiro's power priming. The 10-second limit is a weakness, but X8's speed and healing factor extend his endurance. The Hyperforce's numbers and telekinesis could overwhelm him between invincibility bursts. X8 wins 65-35. With Hypermuteki's invincibility, game hacks through prolonged fights favor Hyperforce. Individual analysis. We still got quite a few to go, folks. Lower tier riders outmatched by Hyperforce's tech. Mid-tier riders competitive due to versatile forms and summons, but solo nature limits them. God tier riders overwhelm Hyperforce with reality warping, time manipulation, and invincibility. The key challenges are Antari's telekinesis disrupts most rider weapons, Sparks' magnetism targets metal armor, and Chiro's leadership counters solo tactics. The Hyperforce lack of morphing dependency outlasts riders' reliance on transformation stamina. Most riders lose to Hyperforce in individual combat due to team numeral advantage and diverse abilities. Kamen Rider Geo Oma form or Kamen Rider X8 Hyper Muteki are the strongest contenders, with Geo's godlike powers giving him a near certain victory. Diamond Beats have a chance with optional forms, but the odds favor Hyperforce against most solo riders. And then the Super Robot is a cosmic grade mecha, splitting into 6 vehicles, blah 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 blah. The Super Robot, blah blah blah. Alright, rider capabilities. Ichigo Black Sun, nope. Outcome, Super Robot obliterates them. Complete form decayed, Super Robot wins. Kiwami Arms, Gaim, Super Robot wins. Laser Raise Riser, reality warping. With Beats, Super Robot wins. Hypomuteki, Super Robot wins. Omagio wins. Omagio wins. Decisively, dismantling the Super Robot with minimal effort. Most riders are human-scale fighters lacking the firepower to destroy the robot. Their motorcycles and summons are ineffective against the mechas designed for cosmic warfare. Riders with reality warping and time manipulation can disrupt the Super Robot, but only Geo Oma's form has the raw power to destroy it outright, either by erasing it or summoning mech-scale allies. The Super Robot's vehicle splitting and Lasertron Fury overwhelm most riders who can't sustain mech-scale combat. The Super Robot defeats most riders in mech combat due to the cosmic scale, grade design, and firepower. Omagio is the exception, winning with reality and time manipulation. Now, I am going to have to apologize. If you want to look this up yourself, I will leave a link in the description when I post this on YouTube. If you would like to look this up, you're welcome to use Grok yourself. It's available on X. It's free to use, but it's got some restrictions unless you've got premium. I have to actually hop off because I have to go make dinner. So I want to thank everyone for being here and everyone for joining me to this fine video. Peep it, we've got fucking links. Follow us on that shit. I've got a YouTube channel. We've got Rumble that I'm trying to get set up. Twitch every Friday if we can. And whenever I fucking feel like it. We've got an Instagram and an X account. We do have a TikTok, but it's not up and running yet. Furthermore, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us this fine evening. Thank you for watching in the future. Leave a comment, like, share, do the algorithmic bullshit for me, please. You don't have to. Just being here is enough, but we like the engagement. And above all, remember, cheese balls. Have a good night, folks.